I'm Coach Emily, and today we're going to work on our shoulder stretching. So first we're going to start with some dynamic stretching, which means that we're going to get our shoulders moving to make sure they're nice and warm so that when we do our bridges, we don't have any sort of injury, okay? So we're going to start by putting our feet about hip width apart, so right under where our hips are, so we're nice and sturdy. And you're going to start with circling your right and your left arms. We're going to go backwards, you can do that 5 times, and forwards. And the other side, backwards and forwards. Make sure you stay nice and straight and don't wiggle your tummy all around when you're doing this. Then we're going to sit on the ground. You can put your feet in your pike position and make sure you're sitting up really tall. Cross one arm over your chest, nice and straight, and push it gently against. Hold that for 5. You're going to open and switch to the other side. Pull it gently, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And open, okay? We are going to do a stretch, making sure our feet are together, sitting on our knees, and stretching our hands out in front. You want to push your armpits down to the floor. See if you can touch your nose to the floor. You can hold this and then walk to one side with your hands. Push your armpits down to the floor. And do this to the other side. And push those armpits down to the floor. We're going to push up to our mountain next. So put your hands on the ground, lift your bottom up, and push your armpits towards your toes. You can hold this for 10 seconds and really, really push those nose and armpits towards your toes on the other side. Then if you have a couch or a bed or an ottoman or a table, we can do a really good shoulder stretch to warm up those shoulders before we start. So I'm going to use this block. I'm going to go on my knees, make sure they're right under my hips, put my hands on the block, and put my ears in between my arms, and push my armpits towards the floor. You don't want to stick your head out too far. You want to make sure that it's right in line with your arms. Make sure your knees aren't too close to your table or couch or too far away. Okay, right underneath. And you can hold that for 10 and do that 2 or 3 times. Okay, and now that we're warmed up, we're going to go on to some table stretches. Okay, now that we're all warmed up, we're going to work on practicing our table position. So you want to sit on the ground, and you're going to put your hands right behind you and make sure your fingertips are towards your heels. Bend your knees and push up that belly button to the sky. You want to make sure you're trying to create a flat surface from your shoulders to your knees. You can even try to put something on top of your belly, like a stuffed animal or maybe a book, and see if you can balance it up there without it slipping off, okay? If you want an extra challenge, lift up and try lifting a leg. Lift a leg forward, and you can try the other leg. You can also try drawing circles, or you can try writing the first letter of your name, and try that on both sides, okay? Then, if you want to take that book or stuffed animal, see if you can put it on top of you, lift up to your table, and see if you can walk forward and keep it balanced. This means you have to create your flat surface and keep it up as your feet and your hands move. Okay, once you've mastered your table and you've gained enough shoulder flexibility and strength, you can move on to practicing this next step for our bridge. So if you have a safe elevated surface in your house, you can practice by sitting in front of it, putting your feet up to practice. So you want to make sure that when your feet are on the surface, they're planted really strong. You don't want them hanging off in front or too far away from you. So right at the front, planted. You're going to lay back, stretch your arms up over your head to make sure you're nice and straight first. You're going to take what I call pancake hands, and you're going to make sure they're on the floor flat, and you want to point your fingers right to where your heels are. When you push up to your bridge, you want to make sure that your stomach is lifting all the way and your belly button is trying to touch the ceiling. You don't want to lift off your head. You want to make sure your head's nice and safe. So we're going to try to push up, make sure our tummy goes first, and make sure our ears stay in between our arms. Try to hold here. When you come down from your bridge, you always want to bring your chin to your chest and come down to your back. You never want to come down on your head for a bridge so that you keep your neck safe. And you always want to make sure you're landing lightly on your back.